November 6th, 2022. I'm Carol Ray in Central Texas outside of Austin. And you have kind of the whole crew here. Dr. Clint is here for a little bit. Good morning, Dr. Clint.
Morning, joining you from beautiful Hawaii. I have the book, the Japanese book in my hand. It's so fun, but it's totally dark here and it is 6 a.m. And so just imagine something beautiful.
Cornelia is here doing tech for us. Good morning, Cornelia from Paradise.
Yes, good morning from Paradise Island, the Bahamas.
And we have Miss Jana in a new location this morning. Good morning, Miss Jana Taylor.
Good morning. I'm calling from South Ogden, Utah. That's my new home.
Oh.
So hello.
So glad to have each and every one of you here today. And we have some really special things for you today. We're going to be, we have an interview with the world famous author Ken Honda, who has sold over 7 million books just since 2001, I believe it is. And we have that for you. And we're going to spend a little time listening to how translating the Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer book into Japanese affected the people working on that translation, and several other little surprises for you today. So I'm going to start out just asking people to, we're going to try to go from our hearts and have a few minutes to connect from our get out of the head and into the heart and into our space where we feel so loved and supported and nurtured. And we picked a little song from one of our favorite musicians, Gary Malcolm. Miss Jana, would you like to share what you're going to play for us?
Yeah, I would like to just play just a portion of a song from Gary's Graceful Passages album, and it's Ending Suffering with Thich Nhat Hanh. So I'll go ahead and share that. Just take a deep breath and feel your feet below you, feel your seat in the chair.
May the sound of this bell penetrate deep into the cosmos. Even in the darkest spots, living beings are able to hear it clearly, so that all suffering in them cease. Understanding come to their heart, and they transcend the path of sorrow and death. Người nghe tình.
Just enough to get us into from our head into our heart.
Oh, surprised me on that one, but that's such a beautiful one. And Gary Malcolm is so much a part of our community here today. So we would love to hear from you if you put in the chat where in the world you are joining us from. And
And if you are new, we would love to know who is new on the call.
Right.
Just go ahead and put in the chat, I'm new. We'd love to say hello to you and welcome you to the call, to this beautiful community.
Ayako-san, I'm sending you a message to unmute, and we would love for you to join in this conversation about the translation of the book into Japanese.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, good morning. Ohayou
Namaskar.
gozaimasu. Are you in Japan
It's
now?
evening here. No, I'm in Denmark.
Oh, in Denmark.
So
Ah,
it's
good
5 p.m.
evening. Oh, yeah. So tell us your role in the translation and how it affected you and the kind of your experience of the whole experience.
Yeah, well, I must say that it has been an incredible experience. The whole time, the past 2 years has been really amazing. And it was very much a joint effort. So I don't take credit alone. It was a joint effort with Yukiko, who lives in Hawaii, and Reiko, who was living in Germany, and now she's back in Japan. And of course, there was Clint's team, Monica and Maggie, who were so patient with us, and they were so supportive all the way. And also together with Dr. Naram in the spirit world, in many ways, he was present throughout the process. And Yukiko often said to us that whenever she got stuck, translating from English to Japanese is very different in terms of the grammar and the language. So whenever she got stuck, she would ask Dr. Naram and go for a walk, and then she would come home, and then perfect translation would appear in her head. And that was true for all of us. So it was very much joint effort with Dr. Naram and all the spirits, all the gurus who have passed and who are in the lineage and with us in the physical world. Should I keep talking or?
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah. So in terms of the book, as you probably know, all of you who have read the book, it has extremely high vibration, and the energy that gives is really incredible. So for us, the most important thing was to preserve that high vibration when we translated into Japanese. And it took a lot longer than we wanted. Just because we wanted to give 100%, as it shows in the book, that we need to do everything with 100%, and that we did, but in the process, it took a long time. So we were done with a translation earlier this year, but we decided to engage a professional editor to check the manuscript and check the language and put it into a readable, easy to read Japanese. And we didn't have that experience as an editor. So we found somebody to help us with that process. to make it as perfect as possible. So it took us almost 2 years, but I think it was worth the effort and worth the time. And we feel that, you know, we are moving towards a new era. Some people call it like ascension or transition. And in that process, I think a lot of people are getting sick, either physically or mentally, or even spiritually, because we're moving towards that transitional period. We're going through that transitional period, and we're entering into a new era. And so this book, I think, came at a right time for all of us. And I think it's sort of helping us to guide us into this new world we're heading into. And as we're not just physical beings, we're spiritual beings, and that this book really reminds you of that we're not just physical forms, but we're actually spiritual beings. So to realize that that we're part of something big, whether you call it God or universal love or whatever it's called, we're part of that big universe. And that brings you to this quote that Dr. Naram said, you know, I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you. And I always felt like we were part of that big universal love when we were translating. And I just want to thank you as the whole community and Dr. Clint for writing this book, and Dr. Naram for creating this opportunity for all of us, and that I feel very, very lucky and very fortunate to have been part of this process. And now I'm part of the 3-year healing practitioner course, and it's really kind of bringing me to the next stage. But because I read the book so many times, and some thoughts and philosophies and ideas are so embedded in me, it just makes the learning a lot easier and a lot enjoyable. So with that, I thank everybody and thank the community, and thank Dr. Naram and Baba Ram Dass and the whole lineage. So thank
Domo
you.
arigatou gozaimasu. So
Arigatou
grateful for
gozaimasu.
you. It looks like Dr. Sandia-san is on the call. I don't know if she can turn her camera on and also speak. How about Dr. Giovanni? Would you unmute? We can.
I'm trying
There you
to
are.
put my camera on.
Okay.
Konbanwa. And wait, I think this one.
There you are. Hello. So happy to see you. So very
Yeah.
happy to see you.
Yes.
So what would you like to add about the translation of the book, and how exciting to have this accomplishment, and how's this process been for you personally?
Yes. First of all, congratulations for the launch of the book or in Japanese translation. And that is thanks to Clint, thanks to Dr. Naram, and especially thanks to these 3 wonderful ladies, Ayako, Yukiko, and Reiko. And I really more than appreciate all of you united and gave these 3 ladies, their precious time and effort and energy to be a part of Dr. Naram's mission, our guru, Dr. Naram. His mission is still that to deliver the ancient secret, Siddha Veda, to each and every home, each and every heart. And they have done tremendous contribution for that into the country of Japan, because they they speak totally different language here in Japan. And so they opened the gateway for the Siddha Veda to spread in Japan. So thank you very much.
So it's 1 o'clock in the morning there, if I recall. Is that right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
grateful to you for joining us in the wee hours of the morning, and it's so nice as always to see you and have such love in my heart for you and the lessons that you've imparted to our community. We're so grateful for you, and thank you for
Thank
speaking
you.
on behalf of the group today. It's always beautiful to see you. Let's see, what is next? Did we get is there anybody else here from the translation team? No, I don't.
You know, I just want to reflect a minute about what Sanjaya said. You know, I thank you, Sanjaya, for being here so early in the morning. You know, it's one thing when we talk about that this book needs to be, you know, that Dr. Naram's vision was in it, in every home and every heart. But you think about the millions of people that this book will be, you know, available to as a result of these three women. It's so incredible. And Sanjaya, I don't know, how do you think that this will be affecting, you know, you and your practice?
Let's see. First of all, I am sorry, I'm having flu and cough. So I may disturb you with my cough. So in that case, I will mute myself and cough loudly. So
do you think that this is going to change the way that you interact with people in Japan? Will the book help bring Dr. Naram's principles and Siddha Veda to the people that you are helping?
I think so. Yes, I think so.
Okay. I just think it's amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for these women who have, you know, read the book over and over and over again. So
That's very exciting stuff. I think now would be a good time to play the interview that we have with Ken Honda from Japan. He's a really interesting character who does not just seminars and things on finance and wealth, but also on soul development and finding a Zen state of life in regards to relationship with money and people and ourselves. So Cornelia, do you have the interview queued up?
I actually have that ready, but I would actually like to Sanjaya to speak a little bit about her relationship to Dr. Naram, because you were one of the few people that really were close to him and knew him maybe better than a lot of people because you were traveling with him. And a lot of our community actually don't know what role you played in his life. And I would like you to share a little bit about that, if you might, now that we have you on a Sunday call, which is not very often.
Is it about me, talking to me?
Yeah,
or?
yeah, I was talking to you, Sanjaya-san.
Okay.
Because you were a very specific role for Dr. Naram.
My specific role in short was to make Dr. Naram comfortable so that he can function with his 100%. These people have special ability. There are a lot of demand or request that so many people want to have the chance to sit in front of him and have consultation. And he is like us, everybody else. He has only 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. So he's so that he can function 100%, he need to be comfortable, right? to think about king, to think about morning coffee, to think about tea during clinic, to think about this and that during the tour. He need to think about calling some people who are waiting for him, the next location. And all of this, I was doing the things. In short, I was kind of taking care of him. And that was my training by Dr. Naram. So he used to say like, this is the seva to my guru. And at the same time, this was when I think about it, think back about it, it was my training, precious, very precious training.
How long did you travel with Dr. Naram, or be his, in a sense, disciple with him traveling?
With him traveling since 2013, I think.
Yeah.
But he's a student since 2010, and he's patient since 2000, I think around 7 or 6. I started as his patient.
Mm-hmm. Now, Julia is actually asking, what more did Dr. Naram train you to do to support him? Is there anything specific that stands out for you?
Specific to stands out? No, I can't think about now. I think he trained me so that I can think forward, ahead. Because everybody's in the moment. Dr. Naram has to be in the moment. When he sits in front of patient, he only think about his patient. But this tour is going on and all the flight is booked. This is the location and so many appointments. So everything has to go so smooth. And for that, they need some people who think ahead, if you know what I mean. So yeah, think ahead. And he made me, he trained me very well to pack very fast.
That's a very important feature to have, because if you have to travel quickly and go from places and have everything in the right place, so it's easy to just grab into
that is right, because we are like sometimes 8 people traveling together with 22 suitcases. And I was in charge of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 suitcases minimum. And I need to know what is there, what is where, who's what is where. So.
That's beautiful. What I loved is the translator put in the chat. Would you unmute and share with us what you put in the chat about how Sandhya's role was with the book?
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't emphasize the fact how Dr. Sandhya has been there towards the end when we were finishing with the translation, because none of us are professional translators and none of us have any medical background. So we really needed somebody to review the manuscript to make sure that everything was translated into the correct technical language. So for that, Dr. Sandhya has been really, really instrumental. She really checked every single recipe, every single herbal terminology, and to make sure that they were correct and accurate, and that there are no inconsistencies or mistakes. So she really checked for us, and that was really, we really appreciated that, so that we made it into as perfect as possible. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you both so much. Did anybody have any questions they would like to ask either one of these beautiful
I
ladies?
think Morgine has a question she wanted to ask.
Great. Morgine.
I just wondered whether he taught her, better eating habits or things like that, while she was doing her job. In order to do that job, she must have had to work a lot. So did he teach you things to eat, how to sleep better or anything in order to do your job well, like following around with him and taking care of everything?
Not personally, but like eat moong, things like that. He tells to everybody, all the patient, and so from that I learned. I was supposed, being Dr. Naram's student and being close to him, I was supposed to eat good, means moong and cooked vegetables, but also I like junk sometimes. And Dr. Naram doesn't really get angry to anybody. He's always like, he's Naram, Dr. Naram. Naram means soft, so he was gentle and soft, usually or almost all the time, 99%. But one time he was upset because he saw me eating junk when I was not feeling well, and he called me to the corner and Sandhya, look what you are eating. And that was a big lesson for me. Because that was also an important part, that nobody gets sick in the tour, because we were traveling with minimum needed people, so everybody had role to contribute.
100%.
So any one of them get sick means clinic has problem. So from that perspective, he was very professional about that.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for sharing that and being so open about that. That even as a student of Dr. Naram, you didn't always follow his dietary advice, which is probably quite also encouraging for us, that even if we fall off the bandwagon sometimes, that there's still, it can happen all the time, but then go back to our monk soup and see how we can then go back and eat healthily. And as you all know, we are starting the detoxes next week, the 70 and the 30 days next weekend, for everyone who is on it. And so we have a big chance to come back to getting healthier again. Another question.
Maybe we have somebody else out there who might want to add a little bit about traveling, and with Dr. Dr. there, and he's unmuted at the moment, so I'd like to hear from him if he'd like to share something.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello. Yes, congratulations for the Japanese version of this wonderful book. Congratulations to whoever has contributed. Very good, very good. Yes, and I enjoy what Sandhya was saying. And yes, also a couple of times, also Dr. Naram has rebuffed, you say rebuffed, has told me something regarding the diet. Once I remember I was in the elevator in one of the hotel, and he was looking at my belly and say, "Oh, Dr. Giovanni, your belly is too big now. So we have to go back. No more junk food, no more junk food." And the junk food that we was eating mainly was something traveling. Not traveling, we had, I don't know, some special you say local in America, where we have like sweet potatoes, or we have eggs. So this was the kind of food that we was able to have sometimes, while we was traveling, when there was no moon. In the clinic, Dr. Marianji and Lisa at the time, so they was sure, they was so sure that at least once we had moon during the clinic. But sometimes we was traveling at night, and then, but anyway, so Dr. Nara was careful. Right. Once I enjoyed the, what they call special this very cake, American cake, how you call cheesecake. Yes, and once I got fever after that. So I was feeling not well, and it was one of first time that I couldn't attend the clinic. And I remember, yes, as Sandhya was saying, I felt guilty of not being there, able to participate in the clinic. Yeah, so this is good. It's a wonderful experience. Yeah, watching Dr. Naram, and he was having a lot of chili, a lot of ginger always. So he was carrying ginger in his bag, and a powerful, strong chili powder. Just one tiny things was enough to make very hot many dishes.
So is that how he kept himself healthy when he couldn't eat the mung bean soup? Was like the ginger and the chili?
It was his special need. He was saying that he was having his body type was mainly kapha. Kapha, as you know, the body tends to become cold. So you need to have some spices, something that make your body warm. And he was always eating warm food, warm beverage, always should be not just warm, sometimes boiling. A couple of times I have to go back. I brought to him the coffee or some hot water. And then he was testing, he said, no, Dr. Giovanni, this is not enough. This is warm. I want to boil. He was extremely hot. He was having, enjoying, extremely hot beverage.
Well, thank you. It's fun to know these things.
Yeah, Morgine, you bring up such a great point, because what you're referring to are the teachings that we explore, some of the teachings that we explore in the 100-day program. So, a lot of times we don't know a lot of these things, but we have to expand our knowledge, and the 100-day program is really where a lot of us here on the call have expanded, and it's something that I want to do again and again. It's absolutely incredible. So we highly encourage anyone to be able to sign up for the 100-day program and to be able to take your knowledge about, Dr. Naram and health and wellness, the 6 keys of Siddha Veda, to a deeper level. So beautiful questions, Morgine. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Giovanni.
Looks like Dr. Steven is also in the house. Dr. Steve.
So I remember I got a call to come to Chicago, I think, because Dr. Giovanni had fever. Was that the time, Dr. Giovanni? I had to fly to Chicago because you weren't feeling well.
I think so. Thank you for saving.
So what I'd like to share is that the goal of getting healthy is not to become a fanatic, because always thinking about, what to eat, when to sleep, that can be part of the aggravation. That's why we do this mung bean fast. That's why we take time every quarter, maybe once a week, to really clean the body and to clean the mind, because we can't always eat in the most correct way. Frequently, when we were in places after clinic, we would go have Chinese food with Dr. Naram. I know in Italy, he'd like to eat certain specialties. The body is made for that. The body is made for feast and famine. But we need to, in our modern world, schedule that into our lives, to have our feasting and to have our time when we fast. You see this in many religions. You see this in many times. I was thinking about, Carol Ray asked me to speak today, and in the United States we have different seasons and holidays. We have Thanksgiving, right? No, we have Halloween, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, we have New Year's, and then we have flu season. Because that's how it happens at times. We build the toxins up in the body, and then the body needs to clean itself out again. What if we scheduled that? Schedule time for feasting and schedule time for fasting. We only schedule time for feasting, and the body eventually accumulates and needs to dump that. And we call that dumping the flu, disease, symptoms, cold. We need to schedule time for fasting. So coming up, I think it's November 13th, we're starting some fasting time. And some people are like, oh, that fasting time goes through Thanksgiving, which is our feasting time. And they said, well, that's why Dr. Clint scheduled that. What if we showed up for Thanksgiving and that's the one time of year we don't overeat, that we don't accumulate? What if we had holidays, which we do in our religions, in our lifestyle, time to fast, time to remove ourselves, not from just certain foods, but from certain activities like the phone, social media, news. We need to have these fasts to clean the mind, to clean the heart, to clean the body. And that's why these fasts coming up, some are just 7 days, some are 30 days, but even taking 1 day a week to eat lightly, you know, but that's including what we eat emotionally and mentally and emotionally, you know. So that's what I have to share today. But it's okay to feast. Don't take that out of your life. We don't need to be so strict and fanatical. We want to live life. I believe that we get healthy so we can serve other people, but also to play. Today I went for a walk with a friend I haven't seen in a while, a teacher of mine. And it was great to be able to play. She's in her mid to late 70s and went through cancer, and still playing in her life with her dog. We went for a walk. So it's good time to fast, good time to feast, and have time to play and to serve others. And that's what we do with our energy. So thank you for listening.
Yeah. Good morning, Hank. I see your buddy there. He's right behind you. So, yeah. Hey, Hank.
Come here, bud. Come here. All right. Thank you, Kat. Thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate you. All
Thank
right.
you, Stephen.
So that was
Yes, yes,
awesome.
Dr. Giovanni, did you want to say something?
I don't know. I was just, yes, I agree what Dr. Stephen was saying. And I was just congratulating Stephen, Dr. Stephen. He got a very precious reward from Ayushakti. It's a pearl, a gem of Ayushakti, together with other precious doctors and healers. Very good.
Congratulations, Dr. Stephen.
Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Giovanni. That coming from you, very special. Thank you.
Amelia?
Wonderful. So should we do the video now?
Yes, let's do the video. So as was mentioned before, it was actually announced for last weekend and then we just ran out of time. So we have it this weekend, the interview with Ken Honda, and I'm going to play that now. Please enjoy, it's really an interesting video. And so should get started here.
All right, Dr. Clint G. Rogers here with the one and only Ken Honda. So good to see you, Ken.
Thank you, Dr. Clint. And it's been a while.
Cornelia, can you unmute yourself? The video stopped playing.
We lost the
It
audio.
started out with audio and then the audio has disappeared.
We're saying over the.
Grateful and honored to have a little.
Can you please say it again, Trina? I didn't hear what you were saying. You're muted.
When you were muted, we couldn't hear the video.
Okay. That is interesting because that shouldn't happen at all. Someone, let me just do that again. Okay, let's share. Okay, let's do it again.
All right, Dr. Clint G. Rogers here with the one and only Ken Honda. So good to see you, Ken.
Thank you, Dr. Clint. And it's been a while, and you've been hopping around the world. The last time I thought you were in Europe, and now you're just. We need a map. Where is Dr. Clint in the world, right?
Well, I was hoping. I know we just barely missed up in Europe. You're doing so much with your new program with Mind Valley, with your new book published, with so many things happening. And so it's really an honor to catch up with you now here.
Thank you. And I'm so grateful and honored to have a little chat with you, Dr. Clint.
Yeah. So for those that don't yet know Ken, you're going to be so happy to know him. You know, some people call him Japan's best-selling Zen millionaire. He's definitely the best-selling author, the number one best-selling author in Japan of self-development books. He's sold more than 7 million copies since 2001. And he has financial expertise coming from owning and managing several businesses, but his writing bridges topics of finance and self-help, focused on creating and generating personal wealth and happiness. Those two things through deeper self-honesty. That's critical. He's the first person from Japan to be voted in the Transformational Leadership Council, which is why I was blessed to meet him. And he's fluent in Japanese, English, has lived in Boston, currently resides in Tokyo. Can find out more about him at kenhonda.com. And I'm holding in my hands one of the fun books that when we first met, I think it was about to be published. or maybe it was just barely published.
That's right. It's before the publication. That's why I went to a place to receive a vision. And you were in my vision then, right?
Yeah, we met at a real sacred time, actually before either of us had published our books, these ones. I know you had published other ones, but...
Right, that's right.
It was right before publishing. I gave you one of the pre-publication copies. In fact,
I have it right here.
Yeah, that's good. In fact, I think I even have a picture of, let me see if I can pull this up. It's kind of fun. We met in Costa Rica.
And even though our meeting was short and brief, but I felt very deep connection with you. That's why I think why I'm here. And
I felt that same way too. We're in a deep experience, but our time together was short. But there's something where sometimes you just know there's some real beautiful reason our souls are meeting, you know. And I had no idea what was about to be on my path, or actually how what a blessing even just knowing you, even that short meeting would be. But it's been such a blessing. And also it's still in the birthing process. And so it's so fun to have this conversation, to share this and share you, and then talk a little bit more about, you know, what's this wisdom that's come into your life? And then also the unexpected path in the publication of the book, and some real fun announcement we're going to make on today's call that it's so fun to be with you on. So can I talk about Happy Money just for a moment?
Please.
Yeah. So for those, again, international best-selling book, Happy Money, The Japanese Art of Making Peace with Your Money. Now, my teacher, Dr. Naram, you know, he was very clear. In fact, one of the sections in the book of Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, he talks about, you know, it's a section, actually, the title of the chapter is Discovering Your Life's Purpose. And he talks about so many people, they don't really know why they're doing what they're doing, even the work they're doing or the relationships they're with. 95% of people, he says, don't know what they want. So a big portion of the secrets, these ancient Siddha Veda secrets, wasn't just about getting health, but getting clear on your purpose.
Yes.
And one of the quotes when we're at the Duomo, where he's talking about Mother Teresa and some things he learned from her, he says, you know, his master taught him, don't ever chase money, but do chase great ideas. Great ideas, do chase ideas, great ideas, chase and achieve great dreams. And I really liked it because as I was reading Happy Money, so many things in there resonated with me. It feels like it's not just a modern insight, but you've tapped into a wisdom of the ages. And
Yes, I guess so, because we are universal.
yeah. Can you tell me, when you hear that quote, don't chase money, but chase ideas, great ideas, chase and achieve great dreams. How do you think that relates to your understanding of money and the flow of happy money?
Thank you. Money is something that we use for in exchange. So when money comes, you did something. So for example, you render your service or you sell some kind of product, people pay you money. So when you receive money, that means you have done something. Or on the other side, if you want to get money, you have to give something, either a labor or just some kind of service. But by giving your best, you receive the most amount of money. That's why if you want money, you have to give your best, which is usually what you're very good at, or the ideas that excite you the most. So the exact quote you gave me is so true, because if you chase beautiful ideas and you're excited about doing that, usually that is where you can give most. As a result, you get most. So I think instead of following money, you follow your heart is such a great and smart way of getting money at the end.
I love that. It reminds me, Dr. Ahn would always say, whatever you do, give 100%. And I feel like this book was such a gift of love. Can I read just the opening story in the preface? Just so people get an idea, what is this? This is an idea, a great idea, actually, Dr. Ahn would say, which is, the idea is happy money. So where did this idea come from? Ken says, a few years ago, I had a unique experience that became the inspiration for the concept and title of this book. A woman who I just met at a party asked if she could take a look at my wallet. As shocking as this question might be to some, it isn't particularly uncommon in Japanese culture to ask to see the contents of someone's wallet. That's interesting. I didn't know that. He says, and since there was many other people in the room, I wasn't afraid she would run away with my identity or my money. So with little hesitation, I handed her my leather wallet. I was a little startled, however, when immediately she went for the cash, began to take out the large bills. This one's okay. This one's good. This one's good too, she said quietly to herself as she assessed each bill. For a moment, I thought she was searching for something in particular. Perhaps there are special symbols or markings on the bills, but I soon realized she wasn't looking for anything of the sort. Then she shocked me again and began sorting the bills in a way I had never seen before. Good job. All of your money looks good, she said as she put in the newly organized money back in the wallet and handed it back to me. That's great news, I said, confused yet somewhat relieved to have passed her test. But if you don't mind me asking, what were you looking for? Oh, I was checking to see whether or not your money was smiling. She went on to explain that money can laugh or cry depending on how it was given or received. If it is given out of anger or guilt or sadness, the money would be crying. In contrast, if the money is given out of love, gratitude, or happiness, the money will be smiling, even laughing, because it will be imbued with this positive energy from the giver. This is such a beautiful story and such a unique concept that I don't think most people are thinking about. But it's so powerful. When this moment happened, I want to hear what was the trigger of thoughts in your mind, or the events that it led to, just from that idea.
So immediately I thought of my friends who have smiling money in their wallet, and also like my uncle and other people who definitely have angry money or sad money in their wallet. And I'm sure when you hear the story like that, you think of your relatives, it could be neighbors, could be your boss whose money is smiling, and some other friends whose money are crying. So I think you can you know it immediately who has the smiling money. So we know it like we just don't put the light on this onto this topic, but we feel that if somebody has happy money or not. So that means that we experience energy flow. You know, in your life, if you're doing what you love and just give 100%, as your mentor said, you're in the flow of happy money. You know, because you give your love, and then you see you receive love as in a form of love, money. And if you're not giving 100% or try to take advantage of people, or you're dishonest with your work, you get, you know, sad money or angry money. So as a result, you feel squeezed or frustrated, and even you feel upset when you spend the money. So you know it, what kind of money is floating in your life.
I love that. You know, it's so applicable right now. A bunch of the people watching this interview are just at the tail end of participating in something that we call the Miracle Experiment game, or the Miracle Experiment experience. And it's the first time we ever focused on something Dr. Naram was passionate about, which is how do you achieve predictable, long-term, non-toxic super success? And so the focus of this Miracle Experiment game is, what are the principles you apply? And then as a result, non-toxic abundance comes to you. And I think it's just another way of saying happy money, you know?
Exactly.
So many people have toxic money, and as a result, man, they get dis-ease. Dr. Ram talked about, you know, he actually, with him, I met so many billionaires and millionaires and Hollywood stars, but he said that they achieved what they want, but they couldn't enjoy it. Because it was toxic success, and they got health problems, relationship problems. It destroyed the earth. It was hard to sleep. So many blood pressure went up and back pain was there. So now in your book, I just love this too. I mean, even the titles of the chapters, even if you just read the titles of the chapters, you get an aha moments, you know, where I just want you to talk about some of these, and I want to people to benefit from it. But like chapter 1, what does money mean to you? Solving the mystery of money. Chapter 2, money IQ and money EQ. Chapter 3, money and your life. Chapter 4, the flow of money. Chapter 5, the future of money. And in these beautiful chapters is such a wisdom about how you can have both abundance and happiness. If you're thinking about people that are watching this interview, maybe they haven't heard of you before or heard of this concept, what do you think is maybe one or two of the secrets you'd say to most making it most likely that there can be an increase of happy money flowing to them?
So I think the key is appreciation. Appreciate your money. I call it arigato your money. When money comes in, can you say arigato to your money? And when you spend money, can you say arigato your money? Thank your money. Bye-bye. You know, see you soon. Bring your friends. And so that kind of attitude makes a flow of happy money. So instead of worrying or getting upset over money, can you appreciate the presence of money? And it's like the same thing with people. If you appreciate somebody for being in your life, he or she will appreciate you back. So it's like a two-way communication. Do you love money, and are you loved by money?
That's so beautiful. And we just had another author on that wrote a book called Love Money, Money Loves Me. And it's so beautiful because even in the Miracle Experiment game, this Miracle Experiment experience, it's applying some secrets. One of the secrets is gratitude. And at the end of every day, you have to write 3 things that you're grateful for. And in that space of gratitude and appreciation, miracles come. And this thing you're saying is so perfectly applicable that when you're grateful, when you appreciate the money, and I like it, arigato in Japanese means thank you. Arigato money, thank you for coming in. And then arigato, thank you for letting me invest you or use you in this way. Please come back with your friends. That is such a fun way to verbalize and to internalize that. Is there one other secret that you say that would be valuable that you want to share?
I think whenever I get a service or buy something, I always think of people who make those things. For example, I always have this little little panda here. And then, this panda is watching me, just, giving me cheers. And whenever I buy something like this, or just a glass or whatever, I try to imagine who made this, in a factory or in somebody's home, if it's a homemade, and how many hands were needed to bring this little cute one on to my desk. Think about the shop people, think about the people, truck drivers, and think of the people, probably it was on a boat from China or somewhere. And then somebody made this. So I just, when I buy something or get some kind of service, I appreciate the person or people who have made it possible to bring it to me. Like this one. I don't know how many hands. Somebody must have designed it. Somebody must have tried it many times, and somebody came up with the idea of manufacturing in a factory. So just in my imagination, when I have more time, I think of at least 5 people or 10 people and smiling or just getting excited to make this unique product. And then, wow, I'm so happy because of the love they put into this little one. It's here. So and I do that with so many things in my room. Somebody did something right. That's why I get electricity. I got perfect wire. So you're somewhere in North America, and I'm outside of Tokyo, but we are chatting as if we're right next to each other, right?
That is
So
amazing.
I appreciate all the people who made this technology possible for us and for the viewers.
Well, speaking of which, then I definitely want to appreciate that woman who pulled your wallet. I want to appreciate her looking at the money. I appreciate the people that designed this book. I want to appreciate you, all your life's experience in recognizing a key idea and then putting it into the form now that so many people are benefiting. It truly is making the world a better place.
Thank you. I always feel so blessed. I have more than enough. That's how I feel. And so, but somehow the more I give, the more I receive. So it's like I'm in the battle of gift giving and receiving war. I give more, I receive more. Okay, take this, and then I receive more. So that's how I feel.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Well, speaking of giving and receiving, when I met you and I gave you a copy of this book, I had no idea what was about to unfold. And so one fun announcement, one reason I was especially excited is because you've been helping. We've had beautiful translators, actually hundreds of translators working on so many languages, now completed in 15 languages. The most recent is Spanish and Turkish, and before that, Italian and Portuguese and Romanian and so many languages. And then just the other day, just literally days ago, I received into my hand, thanks to all the powerful translators that helped, the Japanese book.
Yay!
And it's
It looks
one
so
of my,
beautiful.
yeah, it feels like a work of art. I have one of the leaves in it, but when I open the pages for people that don't know,
That's right,
Japanese.
the other way.
Yeah. When people read it, they read it from this side, but do they read it up, down? Like, let's say I come to one of the pages. You read it like down, up to down.
Yeah,
and then
top to bottom.
And I go to the next line, top to bottom, next line, top
Yes.
to bottom, like that. It's so cool. Well, there's one of the opening quotes. I've never heard anyone, actually maybe one time, but this opening quote, I'm gonna see if I can just put it on the screen. I just want to hear you speak this one in Japanese, because for me, it kind of sets the tone of the whole book. Can you read that in Japanese?
私は教えに来たのではない。愛するために来たのだ。愛があなたに教えるだろう。
Wow. So in English, I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you. And love will teach you. For you, what does that quote mean, or how does it strike your heart?
I just enjoy the energy of the 3 lines. And in Japanese, I feel like, wow, I just immediately felt the love. I don't know who said it, but I could really feel the explosion of ripple effect of that person's love, and then I could hear the sound of this love wave coming from the book, from your book, right? And then it's in my heart. So that love energy made a ripple effect in me. And while I was reading your book, this the love energy is with me. So I really felt like I was basing myself in this love hot spring in your book. So I so enjoyed basing myself, relaxed, and that's how I felt. And what a beautiful quote to start your book.
Yeah, and then I love it in this particular version, in the Japanese version. First, big thank you to the translators and all the people who put effort into it. On the back, we're lucky and blessed to have your quote, which is
Yes.
so fun. Can you read in Japanese what you wrote and then explain in English? I don't know if you could.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. 最も価値のある富は健康です。The most valuable wealth is health. 豊かさ、健康、幸せの古代の知恵が、秘密がこの本に書かれています。Abundance, health, and happiness. The ancient wisdom is written in this book. この貴重で素晴らしい本が日本に翻訳されたのはとてもラッキーなことだと思います。We feel blessed that this beautiful, precious book is finally translated into Japanese. Ken Honda.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, thank you. First of all, thank you for being so willing to support the translators and support the effort. And I'm excited to see what will happen in Japan when this book gets released in each language, like when it's been released in Farsi, what's happened in those countries. And the next one after this is Russian. What's going to happen? The timing of it. But in particular, I think Japanese, would you say in Japan, people are more open to the wisdom of the ancestors, the ancient wisdom. Can you talk about that aspect of the culture and why that would resonate, especially with some book like this?
Yeah, so ancient wisdom is not something we learn, something we live with. It's right there in the temple, 300 years away. It's in our daily life. There are many little shrines and little Buddhas on the street. So we just kind of pray along before we go to work. So ancient wisdom is within us, and a lot of teachings we talk about are from India, and the Buddhism we enjoy comes from India about 2,000 years ago. So what you wrote in the book, it traveled so many miles by mouse to mouse, for 2,000 years. So the ancient wisdom you share in the book, some of them are so similar to what I learned from Zen masters. So I so enjoy the cultural difference, and also your interpretation from the person from the West. So I really enjoyed in so many different ways.
I love that you mentioned that. Even when talking about Buddha, it's interesting that this healing wisdom or this knowledge, not only about health, but also about abundance and happiness, it comes from Jivaka, who was the physician for Buddha. This ancient master who captured this wisdom, and then it helps promote what do people want, and part of the healing process is focusing people back. It's like it's pointing people back to themselves and the wisdom that's also inside of them, their own heart, that brings that health, that brings the happiness. I love, there's a quote Dr. Ram says, everything is a medicine or poison depending on how you use it. Even your life's work can be a poison if it's not aligned. Even the money you receive can be a poison if it's not aligned, but it also can be a medicine if it's aligned with your purpose. And so a big part of aligning for both the non-toxic abundance and also for the health is discovering, what do you want? And I just want to ask you, Ken, you've done so many things in your life and you've achieved so much. And I just want to know, what do you want? What is it that makes you excited, and what is it that makes you run, and what are you looking forward to in these upcoming years of your life?
Yeah, this may sound a little bit funny or strange, but I don't want anything because I have everything. So a lot of Western people ask me, so Ken, what's your goal in 2023? I don't know because, we're not there yet. So, so I have everything I want. I have many houses and I have enough money in the bank and I'm surrounded by so many beautiful friends. So I don't have any goal. I just enjoy my moment. Today, actually couple of hours, 11 friends are coming to visit me, and they're going to stay over, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So, I just focus on today. I'm going to have so much fun today, and right now I'm enjoying so much with you. So why do I have to plan my 2023? Because I'm busy enjoying my life here.
So if I'm gonna see if I can restate, kind of in a fun way, like what you want is just to be present with each moment and enjoy what you have. Something like
So
that.
I'm enjoying, right now I'm in the forest. There are more deer than people, and I'm surrounded by thousands of books. This is my retreat center. So
Wow.
I'm living in heaven because I can read any books I want, and I have 4 different rooms to write. It's my personal library here and there in this big facility that I bought 10 years ago. So I'm enjoying every moment I'm here. This is sort of like a quiet time. I finished my 3-day retreat yesterday, so I enjoy being busy with people. And now today for 2 hours me time, and then another busy day for a few days, and then totally alone in the forest. So I enjoy both, busy social party life and also very quiet life. So, and also I enjoy traveling to Europe and US and Australia, and also I enjoy my me time here. So it's like I think probably being in sauna, in hot hot sauna, and then cold pool, and then hot sauna. So I enjoy every aspect of life, and either positive and negative. Sometimes I experience very positive, fun, loving things, and then I experience somewhat unpleasant, negative experiences. And but it's like food. When you want sweet stuff, you want spicy food.
Yeah.
But if you're in India, I guess, if you're eating too much curry, you want something sweet too. I think life is like that too.
Well, I love that. You're like a walking, I want everyone who's watching, pay attention and listen, because what Ken Honda is demonstrating is what Dr. Naram talks about. Someone that has discovered, okay, I want this thing, and they've achieved it, and in a way they're enjoying what they've achieved, and in a way that they're at peace. There's another quote in here, Dr. Naram says, Titi Devo Bhava, you treat any unexpected guest as if God himself or herself has come. So whatever moments come, whether they're extremely happy or friends or an ex-partner or a flat tire, what is the divine in this? How is God himself or herself showing up? And the way that you're just living it and appreciating it is so beautiful, Ken. It's really, really fun. I'm actually excited. I can't wait till I get to be in Japan with you. And
Definitely.
We're gonna do a full book launch and then do some fun experiences like that. I want to see your writing temple, and I just want to see things through your eyes there. I just think that would be so fun.
Yeah, I'm so loved by everybody here. So I always feel overwhelmed. So I hope you taste, the life of Ken Honda here. You're gonna enjoy it because everybody I meet is so sweet, and your translators team, they're all so beautiful. So I can't wait to see your team and friends, and just I invite my friends to greet you, and I'll probably take you to Kyoto or some exotic fun places too, so you experience Japanese ancient wisdom too, which you will enjoy, because what we have here, thousands of years of tradition, and what you experience in India, some of them are so identical, some of them are unique, so you really appreciate the difference. I can't wait to see that.
I'm so excited for that too. And I do want to thank by name Yukiko, Reiko, Ayako, and also the beautiful publishing company, Haku Rosha. Publishing. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Yes, you did.
They did a fantastic job, and I'm so excited for how many people will be blessed because of it. Ken, I've loved this moment with you. If people want to get a hold of you, I know this is on Amazon. You can get it so many places, but the best way to learn more directly is at kenhonda.com.
Yes, that's correct. And I have studied English community called Arigato Living Community. We meet once or twice a month, and we are international a group, about 20 different countries. So I'm always learning something new from the participants. So I feel like I'm one of the participants. I don't feel like I'm a teacher. I'm there to enjoy time because I'm so curious, what is taught in Azerbaijan about money, what's taught in Africa, what's taught in India and China. I get fascinated with the cultural difference.
Yeah, I love that too. That sounds awesome. It's called Arigato Living Community.
Yes, you can find all the information at kenhonda.com.
Okay, beautiful. So highly recommend not only getting the book, but living its principles and applying it so that you can have this influx of happy money in your life.
Yeah, you feel much better about yourself and money, so you don't have to worry about money for the rest of your life. I think that is such a nice thing to have, peace of mind.
And then I just want to thank you again as we conclude this interview. Thank you again so much for your help on this book. Actually, just out of fun, can you read the title, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, in Japanese, just so I can hear what that sounds like too?
Okay. Master Healer no Kodai no Hiho. It's a beautiful title.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for your assistance. So excited to finally launch this in Japanese and sending you so much love. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
for your
you.
devotion, for making this world a better place. And I cannot wait. Already looking forward to see you in Japan.
Yes, we're in the same path, Dr. Clint. And so all the viewers must be my relatives too. So I feel so excited that we're sharing this information with so many beautiful people, and we need more of them on this planet. So thank you for thank you for blessing the world. So please keep shining the world for all of us. So I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you that you finally published. It's like it's a shock wave of love from the book.
Yes.
So I'm so happy and so honored, and I feel so so happy that you've finally done it. So congratulations and great work.
Oh, thank you so much. I am really curious what will unfold. Like I was just in Michigan at the Pulse Clinic there, and I had only met this couple actually in Mount Shasta 4 months ago. And since then, they've already given out 49 copies of the book. And they said that even in his business, because the book is there and because he's given it to so many of the employees, their work dynamic has changed. People are happier, they're healthier. His heart, which he was in the emergency room before, has become regular. His wife, they presented at their church or their spiritual living community, made this mung soup. And she said that she just got her blood test back before she was struggling with Hashimoto's, actually Hashimoto thyroid. Now, no medication, thyroid blood pressure, thyroid came back normal. And the doctor's like, what are you doing?
I read this book.
Yeah. And so when it's in Japanese, finally, I'm so excited to see, we call it contagious healing. What kind of contagious healing is going to happen in that very powerful, beautiful country and culture? And then I just want to say in Japanese, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Arigato.
All right. Thank you. Arigato.
Well, that was so awesome. Domo arigato gozaimasu, Ken Honda, Dr. Clint. What a beautiful interview that was. Somebody like to kind of share with their take on the interview and something takeaway that you personally have? Esther Francis, you're always a good one to speak up.
Well, hi. I loved it. I particularly, as far as outstanding, what comes to mind to share is Ken's response to the question about the future and his living every moment, every day with such fullness that he's not projecting into the unknown and having concerns about that. And what that speaks to is the deep knowing that when you are living your, what Dr. Naram would call authenticity, and you're living in love and you're giving in service and you know, living contagious love, that paves the way. I mean, it's such a radical, I think, departure from most of the conditioning, especially in the West. I don't know about, you know, that's where I have the experience the most of thinking that we always have to be projecting goals and to-dos and this and that. And the radical, call it enlightenment, call it awakening, call it remembering that when we live in alignment with our own precious sovereign being, in alignment with our own precious Mother Earth universe, that will unearth whatever we need, the treasures here, and will continue on without us thinking we have to figure it out and plot it out. And oh, it was just delightful and perfect timing on the heels of the other wisdoms that have come.
Well, thank you so much, Esther. I appreciate that very much. How about Jerem? Would you like to share your take on the Ken Honda interview? You have to unmute yourself, Jerem.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, it was wonderful. I mean, he's an embodiment of happiness. He's just one of those people that radiates it. And it's, you know, the whole concept of happy money to me is lovely. And it's something I never really thought about. And I know in moments when I'm in fear or anger or whatever about money, that I can reverse that and change that in the blink of an eye. And that sounds very exciting. So just, yeah, a walking example. He didn't have to say a word, and I could learn tons of information from him. So it was very, very useful, and I'm looking forward to getting the book and checking out his website.
Awesome.
So very grateful, very
Thank
grateful.
you, Jerem. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else like to share anything right now?
We have a few people that have raised their hand, Gwen and Ariona. So Gwen, if you want to start. We can't hear you at the moment.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I was on speaker. Yes, I wanted to say this was such a wonderful experience. I put in the chat that Grace and Dan I had met this week, and it was just unbelievable how the spirit walk and what Dr. Ken was talking about, the love and the love in money. I have been dealing with that all my life, and it's just so wonderful for him to express it, and how the love for life is what I've been telling people that I have for a lifetime. And I have not had the money, green American money, a lot in my life to where it was abundant, but the love and relationship with people is like I speak to people all the time and tell them my monies are my smiles, the grateful connections that I make with people. So it was just really enlightening to hear that from a person that is abundant. So it is that word that I love to say, gives me hope And I know possibilities, and I love challenges when it comes to people saying, no, you can't, or, and the challenge that I have now is following. Should I follow or should I just walk my walk? And as I mentioned, meeting Grace and Dan, I was walking a walk. I was walking to a top of a mountain that I had no knowledge what was there. What we found at the top was amazing. I went the next day and did a walk for my mom who passed a year ago. So ancestry and all of that, I feel like it's amazing because I have an Asian connection in my spirit that keeps coming up too. So this is a perfect day, and I just want to stop and thank you.
So beautiful, Gwen, and I see so much abundance in you. I see an abundance of kindness, an abundance of grace, an abundance of openness to share your heart and your love with others. I just see a woman who is surrounded with abundance of the heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. It was beautiful. So glad that you had that walk with Dan and Gracie.
Yes.
Daniel, would you like to speak to that?
Hi, I'm surprised to see her here. It's amazing. Yes, we were walking to the top of this mountain, and Gracie, a day after we did it for hiking, she said, let's go back there to do some prayers because this mountain here in Georgia, it was marked for a battle. It was a battlefield back many years ago when they have the Civil War. And Gracie told me, let's go there and do a prayer for the ancestors and the people. And that's when we met Badwin. We met her in the top of the mountain. It was immediately connection. We saw her, she saw us.
And she showed us a stone and said, have you seen this before? And it was said, get ready to meet God. What was it? Gwen, what was it? Yeah,
it's cutting off. We cannot hear you, but it's graved on the stone. Yeah, something like "Get ready to meet God," and she showed us, and we have been there many times before, but we haven't seen that, and it was amazing.
So
Graziella,
of course, a beautiful conversation starts, and I tell that why we were there, and she shares why she's there, and like. I just could see her in the community, and I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that you're here.
And a few days after, during the night, she came in my mind, and like I have to connect her to the Ancient Secret community, and it took me 2 days to tell Grace, and I tell Grace, you gotta send her a message, and then we were watching the call here, sitting on the couch. And Graziella, look, who's there?
That is good.
I had to be here. I had to be here.
Yes, welcome to our community. There is so much love.
It's so good to see you here, Badman.
Wow. It's that ripple effect of love that we're so privileged to. Where our hearts just expand out, and we're so blessed. It's such a unique place to be.
And that as I was telling Danny this morning, I made a share this morning in Facebook, and a friend contacted me privately. Thank you for sharing those pictures of you and your husband, because it helped me strengthen, because I'm going through a rough time in my relationship. And I know you guys been through a rough time. So it's really inspiring to see. And I was sharing with Danny, like how interesting it is. Sometimes I wonder, should I share or not, just from the ego thing. And we have no idea of the ripple effects that we shining our blessings, we telling people, hey, I'm happy. This is working in my life. This era of my life, I finally know how to walk these waters, like we have no idea of the impact that we cause in people's lives just by being, just by existing, just by sharing our smile. And you're such a proof of that, Gwen. So I'm extremely happy and grateful right now.
Likewise. And like I realized we met, it was wonderful. Dan hugged me, and I've had this disconnect or this imbalance between male energy, and oh my God, I mean, spirit just put it right back in. The next day when I walked up the mountain again, I met a young lady and her son, and I just said, thank you for bringing memory to your son. She told me, I just felt my grandmother, and I looked up at you and I felt it. So, I love it.
So
you.
beautiful. So beautiful. Wow. Couldn't get much more special than that. That's awesome. So we only have a few minutes left, but I'm feeling we maybe should do some breakout rooms. I think there's another, Ariana, you want to go ahead and make your comment, and then Cornelia, if you wouldn't mind, maybe only a couple of people, but lots of breakout rooms for those who want to stay and connect just for a few minutes, and we'll ask, what am I grateful for today, and what do I want for today? In the little breakout rooms once we get everybody's voice heard that wants to speak today.
Thank you. I'll make it quick. I just am so grateful for the video and that Clint brought Ken on. It was magnificent from start to finish. I'm very, very grateful. And the thing for me that moved me is I'm retired. I've accomplished everything I put my mind to. I've created my dreams in my lifetime, and I've always, put an intent out there. So it's been about the goal and putting the intent, and then kind of walking into it. And more recently, I even felt, I had this mission in the world, which was with the environment, and I actually literally have thought, what's wrong with lately? I don't have that. I don't have another mission that's, boiling up in my mind of what I want to do. And I had so many people, what are you doing next? And I'd be like, I really don't know. And I meditate every morning, and I'd ask inside myself, so what's next? And there would be no answer. And I always get answers, just be kind of blank. And I'm like, what's wrong? And it was like, when Ken talked, it was such a beautiful breakthrough for me, because I'm like, nothing's wrong. Just be in the moment, and just really, really fully experience that and be that. And that's all you need to do. And it was like, part of me has known that, but I kept beating myself up thinking, no, now you're supposed to do this, or you're supposed to do that. No, just be and love and be in the moment. So that was that breakthrough, which was amazing for me. The other thing that something came that I wanted to share. One of the things I related to, somebody told me years ago, I'd pay my bills and I'd, start going into like scarcity, or I'd be upset about it. And this friend of mine long ago said, she just writes on her bills, I am so grateful. Thank you. Every time she pays a bill. And I started doing that, and my life started changing in a lot of ways with regards to how I view abundance, because I get the bills and I just sit and I get the power bill. And if it's super large, I'll go, interesting. Thank you so much for my computer, for my electric. Thank you. And sometimes I'll just go into detail and I'll just write it on the bill. And it's just changed. It changed everything as far as with money going out, like blessing it and loving it. And it just really changed a lot for me. So I wanted to share that too. And thank you so much.
Yeah. So beautiful. Speaking about abundance, what an abundance of an amazing team. Carol Ray, amazing abundance. To have Carol Ray in your life is such a gift. Jana, Taylor, and Cornelia, and all of the volunteers, and all of the golden angels, and all the people who are showing up. To have Daniel and Grazi in your life, and then introducing someone like Gwen we've never known before, but we love her so much. What a gift. We are living in so much abundance. And Ariana, for you to share that is so beautiful. Carol, with your permission, I just want to hear like one or two lines from each of the people that raised their hands before we go in the breakout room. Casey, and then Belle, and Leonore, and Lori. Just one or two lines, whatever is in your heart that you gained, what love taught you today, or some insight that you gained.
So this is Belle, and I'm just going to say magic is afoot in connecting the world today. on this call, to being connected with Japan, with these, and the beautiful Japanese translators who are in Denmark or in this country and that. And it's just magical what has gotten created today in terms of the oneness, that we are one and we are a happy one, a possible happy one.
Oh, so beautiful, though. Thank you for that. Ayako, before we end the call, I want you to talk about what love taught you on today's call, but let's go to Casey real quick. A couple lines from you, Casey.
Okay. Whoops.
We can
First
hear
of
you.
all,
Yeah,
can you
go
hear
ahead.
me? Okay. No, it was beautiful, the interview with Ken, and so many things about it. But what was not mentioned that I appreciated was when Ken was talking about his taking his alone time. And you embody this, Clint, like when you do your 30 days of silence or whatever, and that really like sank deep in me. Because in this Western world, we're always taught, go, 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 but forgetting the need to slow down and to pause, and that's when we can turn inward and go inside of our heart and learn by the love of what's inside of us. So that's all that I wanted to share. The need to slow down and pause and take time for us.
Yeah. I'm really glad you mentioned that, actually. Since you talked about that particular thing, I'll just show you where I am right now, because it's so beautiful. It was an unexpected invitation. I don't know if you can see behind me, but like I was gifted an experience where the people who are running this particular retreat or journey in Kauai, which I've never been to before, they said, we want you to come. I was like, oh, super, you want me to speak? They're like, no, we want you to come to enjoy. And I was like, okay. Even they made an announcement at the beginning of the trip. They had me stand up. They're like, we have a celebrity guest joining us for this trip. Dr. Clint, will you join up, stand up? And they said, we know you all love him, but please, he's not here to work. They said, please don't. Otherwise, we're going to need to put a bodyguard around him. But you can talk to him, but please, he's not here to work. And they made this whole announcement about it. And then we went to like these ancient temples, Hindu temples that have such wisdom, and learned about this land and able to experience. But I was going at such a fast pace, eight different states in the last 2 weeks. And to like slow down to this pace, it was like a little bit like stopping your car abruptly. And I was like, okay, reorienting myself. But how nourishing to be in nature, and how nourishing to take time to be present and to schedule that. So thank you so much, Casey. There's so much abundance when you are able to refill like that. Thank you for witnessing that. Leonore, and then Lori.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. There was so much pointing into the future. One thing I absolutely loved is the graphic language is called Shockwave of Love. Wow, I love really graphic language. And then I wrote into the chat something with a lot of emojis about crypto money. So we still have paper bills. Can you imagine if we take the pulse and a chip is implanted and we'll pay attention? How happy is that money that's embedded in our bodies? That's the future. So, and then, yeah, there was a third one. Oh yeah, the Japanese woman, Dr. Shanya, she so heartfelt, referred to the future that Dr. Naram pointed out to her, the future, because so many millions of people are so desperate at the end of their ropes, thinking that the climate crisis and everything there's no return. And everything that I have heard today was completely pointing into the future, and more voices I listen to feel affirmed in their life, in their purpose. Humanity does have a future. Thank you.
So beautifully said, Leonore. I love the enthusiasm. Sandhya, what did love teach you on today's call?
Yes, to be here.
Yeah. What did love?
Be here now, like Dr. Ken said, but be here now 100% and enjoy. So this is good. It was great listening to him. And it was nice. Enjoyed listening to you and him talking. And again, for the three ladies, Ayako, Yukiko, and Reiko, congratulations. crystallization of all of your effort.
So beautiful. You know, I want to go for people in Japan. Ayako, if we can come to you for a moment, and Sandhya, you know of Ken Honda. You knew of him, and you know how respected he is. And what was it like to hear him share about your work, the translation that you did in such a loving way for what's going to happen in Japan? What was that like for you, Ayako?
Well, when you said that you're friends with Ken Honda, I didn't believe you. And I thought, okay, it must be another Ken Honda that I don't know. So when it was the Ken Honda, I was really surprised, pleasantly surprised. And I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. You're so well connected. I had the opportunity to exchange some emails about asking his recommendation for the book. He has been so kind and so down to earth and very, very humble, always offering to help. So no wonder he's so successful and people love him so much. And I've read a number of his books. He's written so many books and he's a brilliant writer. But again, always very humble and always very loving. So this was a great treat that I got to listen to him.
Yeah. And it's so fun to hold it in my hands, to have it here. I can't wait for you to hold it too. It's such a treat. So anything love taught you on today's call, Ayako? And then we'll go to Lori and Nehemiah and then the breakout rooms. Ayako, anything love taught you, especially on today's call?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the realization is that we are love, that we are part of this great universe that is love. And we are just part of it here on the physical world on a temporary basis, but we ultimately come from the great universe that is made up of love. So I felt that strong connection and I felt very humble and very happy to be part of that beautiful energy of love.
So beautifully said. You know, I think, yeah, Giovanni, anything love taught you on today's call or anything you want to say to the translating team? And it's so fun that you're here on the call.
Yes, as I said, congratulations to you, Clint, that all this, yes, waves of love, of knowledge, of your experience, yes, of the book, the Siddha Veda goes far and far and far. Yeah, now they are making the round, many circles around the world. So congratulations, and I enjoy a lot your interview, profound interview with Ken Honda. He has given very powerful tips. I enjoyed his way of viewing and gratitude for everything that is getting. So he can see behind what is behind the efforts, the ideas that are behind. So it is a very, very good. So thank you, Clint. Very much.
I also want to say, Giovanni, you are someone who I feel like is also living the 1%. You know what you want, you've achieved it, and you're enjoying it so much. You're living in so much abundance. I know because I go on tours with you in Italy and I see how much people love you. Kids love you and grandparents love you. Everybody loves you. And when they come, they feel so blessed to be with you. And I feel that same thing about you, Sandhya. I feel like this opening of this book now in Japan, it's like you're going to have to stand up in a new way. You've done all the work in packing the bags. Okay. You did like the Karate Kid job of sanding the deck. You know, it's so funny. I think of sand the deck and I think of your name, Sandhya. Sand the deck. You did that. You painted the fence. And now you have the secrets inside of you. And you've experienced through a direct transmission with a master in a way that you are now ready to be prepared to share. What are the diet secrets? What are the Marma secrets? What are them with so many people that are going to be interested? And you are in the perfect position. It's no accident. I'm getting chills now. It's no accident Dr. Ram chose you to be closest to him for all those years of traveling in Europe. When he would get so frustrated dealing with the Italians, he'd be like, I need a Japanese here who can provide some structure, that I have my red pen, my blue pen, and my mints in place, you know, that we can make sure there's toilet paper, to make sure when we come, he came to the US, he wanted you to come. When he was in India, he wanted you to be there. And that in so many ways, there's no accident, Sandhya, where you're placed right now, at this moment in time, for this book to be released in this way, in which so many people will experience a deep healing. And for you, for Ayako, for Yukiko, for Reiko, and for anyone who's studying these ancient secrets, how many people will be blessed through you? It really inspires me. And Giovanni, I don't know if it's okay to share, but also your closeness to Giovanni, Sandhya, your relationship with each other is so beautiful. How powerful that one of the most beautiful partnerships that I have ever known is centered in these ancient secrets. And now on multiple continents around the world, your connection with each other, your connection with the divine, with love, with Dr. Naram will continue to bless in an outpouring of love in such a beautiful way. So I just wanted to witness that. You know, you came to India to study Ayurveda. You went to a university in India to study Ayurveda. You didn't know it was going to lead you to a master that knew beyond any teaching, that would teach you through grace, through the city. And so I just wanted to recognize that from my heart to your heart, say thank you for your path. Thank you for who you are. And so excited to come.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Giovanni, anything else you want to share?
And yes, also very, I appreciate the way she's speaking, the way she's teaching, and very clear, step by step, in a methodic way, and from heart. So this is what I appreciate of. And is also now lecturing in an institute in Japan. So this is good. Welcome, and very good.
So beautiful. And I know Japan's way of being is very different from American, is very different from Italian. And you know, your contribution is as important as anyone's. Your contribution, Sandhya, and Ayako, and Reiko, and Yukiko is as important as mine, as important as Giovanni's, is as important as Dr. Naram's, actually, in this whole system, this way of being. So thank you. All right, I want to go to Lori. I don't know if you're still here or available to share whatever is your insight.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, it was very similar to what somebody said before me. I used to write on the checks. I was told that, and Ken reminded me of this, and I love it. That whole idea of money is trade. Money is trade. And so when I'd get a bill, on the bottom of the checks, I would write thank you and then sign my name. In an electric bill, that's okay because I'm receiving a service. And the water bill, I'm receiving a service. I wouldn't have water if I couldn't pay somebody to give me water. So that gratitude for that. And I think I lost it because now everything seems to be electronic, right? This exchange, it goes from my bank to wherever they are. I don't even see it anymore. So I have to, I really am rethinking that. And I have to laugh because I have Ken's book.
Oh my goodness.
And I have to shamefully say, I've never read it. But now I will because I was really intrigued. So thank you. It was really a joy to have that interview and listen to it. So thank you.
I just took a screenshot. I'm going to send to Ken. He'll be so happy. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Some wisdom, some insight, something love taught you on today's call, and then we'll go into the breakout rooms after this.
Shalom. Hello, everyone. I wasn't going to speak today. 6 years before this call, we put the body of my brother Amishai, which means gift to my people, into the ground. I'm still digesting and contemplating. Next week, I'll be ready to talk. I want to say, first of all, before I talk about it, kudos to everything that was said before me. Many, many kudos. And I'm so happy that I have now so many potential friends, already friends in my heart in Japan, brothers and sisters. I have an offer for you, Clint, offer that you can refuse for next week. Number one, to share for about, it might take 5 minutes, 3 or 5 minutes, about amazing miracle of healing for my brother who started to believe in God in the moment I left him after 78 years. You think about Israel as a place of religious Jewish. No, 50% of the people, they are part of the rational revolution. They just believe in what they see. And my brother was living love, living God without knowing that it's God also his life. Amishai, blessed for the people, giving love all the time. And his heart open. So many things happen, not for today. So my offer for you to speak for 3 or 5 minutes next week, but I have a bigger offer. I can give a talk, including my brother, that might take 7 minutes or more. It will be about a subject connected to what happened 2 weeks ago, I think. The relationship between having brothers and sisters of the heart, of our choice, and brother and sister and family of our biological. I didn't understand it from personal level so deep because I wasn't connected to my family, my blood family, because I had to disconnect. And it's so amazing to understand how we relate to a person that we were born to be with, sometimes ambivalently, and how do we relate to people that we chose to be, our brother and sister. I think it could be a good subject to, I know you have your plan and maybe it's not right for you, but if you want to include about 7 to 10 minutes, as it include also the miracle of my brother, the ball is in your court, whatever you decide to do, you let me know.
Beautiful invitation. Carol Ray, what do you think? Sounds so beautiful, doesn't it?
Does indeed.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nehemiah, for that invitation, sending so much love to your family. And thank you for sharing that miracle. You know, one thing that Dr. Naram was very clear on was that our body is not, it's not the end all be all of our experience. You know, he understood that having a body isn't the essence of a soul, you know, and that when we shed our body, it's like maybe changing our shirt. You know, you change a shirt and it gets dirty and gets holes, and it was our favorite shirt. We loved it, but now it's time for a new shirt. And so there wasn't any sadness around death for him. And I really feel like I feel that the miracle is for what you were saying, for your brother and the connection with the divine.
When I shared, I was hesitating because all the people around were non-religious, or most of them, yeah. And I was saying, I have pain because I got in touch with the pain. I do still have pain in my heart that need to be released. But I use the word celebration, and they are not used to call that celebration, but I said, this is also a celebration. And that was so powerful to say it to people who never thought about death as a celebration.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, let's celebrate. Next Sunday, let's set a time to celebrate. Celebrate your brother, celebrate those we love, celebrate our connection with the divine, celebrate this community. Let's have a big celebration. And Nehemiah would be honored to have your sharing in the midst of that.
Thank you so much.
I love you so much, Nehemiah. I love everyone on the call. Love this community. Carol Ray, I want to turn it back to you. I don't know if I just for 1 minute, I just want to talk about abundance that's happened for me on this tour. You know, one of the abundance is like kids that I've met, like in Wisconsin, Gabe. He, as a gift to me on the last part of the tour, he gave me this picture of him so I can put it on the altar. You know, Jody Curtis, her daughter, gave me this little frog that I have on my altar, the same place I put the picture of Dr. Naram, Jivaka, everything. Every time I go at clinic, I put this little frog that came from Jody Curtis's beautiful daughter. I have the thank yous written from the orphan kids in Nepal in their own handwriting. I have all of this and I feel so abundant. And Sarah Morel, her son Atlas, he drew me this picture, this bunny. I also keep on the altar, and I feel like so much abundance in so many ways. And then even here in Hawaii, after interviewing Ken and doing that pre-recording, there's someone who was about to go home because they were in so much pain. So much pain. They were here for an anniversary, 30 years. And actually I spoke in the interview about the couple from Michigan. So Ann contacted me. She says, I know I'm not supposed to bother you. But please, he's in so much pain. He's about to go home and they're on their anniversary. And I was like, I'm so excited to help you. I always know there's divine moments in which love guides us. So I went and I helped. The pain, which was 10 out of 10, became 1 out of 10. He was lit up with this light. And he said to me, he's like, I know you're here to help me, but I think I need to help you. He's like, I have a very successful business and I want to help this work move forward in a big way. I see that you would do this whether I had money or not. And so I want to make sure that I anchor into you, that you are going to be supported. I was like, well, let's first help you. And I was trying to redirect it, but he kept coming back to, no, you need to receive. And because I understood what Ken Honda had shared about receiving the abundance, like I received with so much love, these pictures. I was like, I should also receive this with love. And then he handed me a stack actually of money. And I knew every money had a smile on it, that it was happy money. It was money given with love. It was money given with joy. And so I just wanted to say that I want to anchor in, this is the microcosm of the macrocosm, and just see a raise of hands. Who wants to receive an influx of even more happy money in their lives? I just want to see a raise of hands. Good. Well, in light of that, we are in a very good position because we have the blessing of the masters. We have these ancient secrets, which the world needs now more than ever in all the languages. We have a community that is so filled with love. And we have people that are co-hosting calls like Carol Ray, Jana, and Cornelia, which just embody so much the essence of letting love guide. So handing this back over to you, Carol, thank you so much for guiding the call today. Love you, and I'm with you.
Okay, before you get off too far, I do want to take a moment and put our hands together and send a blast of love to all of those who are coughing and not well, low energy, need that extra energy. Dr. Clint, you're so powerful when you do that. So can I get you to put your hands together, warm them up?
Ah, yes.
And blast that healing love light.
We love you and we're with you. Love you. I love you and I'm with you.
Thank you.
I love you and I'm with you.
We love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Thank you. Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm
with you. I love you and I'm with you.
Love you, Dr. Sandia.
Love
you and I'm with you. Giovanna. Love you, Humphrey. Love you, Robin. Nehemiah. Love you, Jana. Love you, Cornelia. Love you, Carol. Love you, Andrea. Love you.
Thank you, everyone.
Please join the kids today. Mehar. Love you, Stephanie.
Love you so much.
You guys are so
Love you,
beautiful.
Barbara.
You're so beautiful. So much abundance today on this call. Let's see, for those who can stay in the breakout rooms, even for 5-10 minutes to share, what did love teach you today? I think there could be some gems in there, some real golden insights. So I don't know, Cornelia, if you have it set up, but anyone who's willing or in any capacity to share, you'll see on your screen right now, you can jump in there. I love you, with you, looking forward to celebrate next Sunday, all the abundance that's in our lives. I love you and I'm with you.